Hello, and today we are getting out with the kids and we have come to the Workhouse in Southwell near Nottingham. Now this place was built in the 19th century, so the early 1800s, and it was a place where the poor and the destitute went as a last resort, and you were put to work in return of lodgings and food. This is what was in place before the welfare system. So join us as we take you on a tour of the Workhouse. Where they used to wash stuff. Alright, show me what you got to do with this, Freya.
It's like a digital boot kind of. So let me show it to you.
Yeah, show us what you do.
When the orange stuff is, you just put it over. Since we it says paying for the...
And then it tells you about what it is.
You know what this is?
Oh.
A washing machine.
Interesting, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Freya, this is the dead room. It's a body. So this is what they call the dead room. This is where, if you can see here, if you died in the workhouse, this is where you were brought until the parish come and picked you up. It's a little bit grim, really, to think actually if we were in here, how many dead bodies do you reckon have been in this room? So now we're going to enter the main house. Able-bodied male day room. This is where the men came from, who could work. Oh wow, this was the job? Oh wow. And then you end up with like this in your bucket. What would you use that for once it's unpicked? Would it be like kindling?
No, sent back to the shipyard to be made into another rope.
Made into more rope. So this is the able-bodied male yard. Not very big again. You shouldn't be in here, so if you're a child. Oh, we found the toilet.
Okay.
Oh.
How?
So you have to go in there, have a wee-wee.
Or more.
And there's another toilet this side. Is this the women's side, do you reckon?
I think that's...
Oh no, this is the places for like Grandad. It's for the aged and the infirm. Well, Grandad's happy because if you're over the age of 60, you've got 1 ounce of tea, 5 ounces of butter, and 7 ounces of sugar. You can't do without his tea, so we'll be okay. Eating there, so jack and potato.
Is it weird?
Now we are in the master's office, and obviously that's why it is so much bigger. It's huge compared to the other rooms. You've got a massive table there, which has got food on. It's just obviously a lot more comfortable being in here, being the master. So I just want to tell you a little bit about a guy who lived here called William Asprey Reynolds. Now let me show you this. So in this punishment book, we've got William Asprey Reynolds ran away on October the 7th, 1854. He promised not to run away again. Further down, William Asprey Reynolds running away, June 1855. And William Asprey Reynolds running away, reprimanded. So we're now down in the cellars. This is where obviously they stored the food, the water, things like that. I'm gonna have to duck a little bit here. It's just getting, I won't want to be running down here to go and collect some food at all. It's a bit dark and damp. We're lucky we've got electric lights. I don't think they had that. Go on then. Oh, let me see where she's gone. Hi.
Hi. What is that noise?
Just the rainwater coming down. I just had a little fright here because I've just been shouting through this hole here, and then I can hear noises coming from behind me of like old time noises. They've got speakers in the roof. It's not ghosts, it was speakers. We're okay for here. No ghosts down here. One of my favourite rooms in any building, the kitchen. Yes, Fred. Almost stabbed yourself with a fork.
This looks normal, but wait. That's heavy. What's that for?
That's a massive pot. So actually, what they would have done for you, where your feet are, Yeah, look where your feet are. That is where they would have lit the fire and it would have warmed the pots up underneath. So this is what you'd get to eat on a daily basis. So let's say it was a Monday, as a man, you'd get 6 ounces of bread, 1 quart of milk or gruel, no meat for your dinner, no potatoes, just some broth, and then for supper, bread and milk. You only really get meat on a Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. So 3 days a week you'd get meat. And the rest of the time you're on broth. This is a classroom. It's a small classroom, and through there you've got the large boardroom where they had meetings and get-togethers. So in the area behind me, that's where you could meet your family. So when you come and you got split up, you can meet your family in there for 1 hour. That's 1 hour on a Sunday, if you've been good.
Hi, I work here. Do you like my material girlfriends? Yeah.
I don't know if they talked like that back then, Freya. So if you're really not happy about being dressed up like that, are you, babe?
You look miserable.
Show me, please.
So this is the bedroom for the people like Grandad. Looks like him there. It's the aged and the infirm. Freya, do you know what that is?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh.
There ain't no toilets. So you can see there's a difference in the beds. You've got this kind of bed, which is a loose metal frame, and you've got the wooden beds and the curtains. That was all based on your needs, and if you were ill and if you were dying, then you were lucky to get a nice bed to spend the rest of your life in. So this is the able-bodied male sleeping ward. 20 men in here at one time. So you've got sometimes a double bed and some single beds, some of the metal single beds as well. What I would say, those who have seen our video when we went to Quarry Bank and we went to the apprentice house at Quarry Bank, you would see the beds here are a lot better than the beds which are in the apprentice house there. So you're lucky in a little bit, you got a better bed than what you would do if you're at Quarry Bank. There is double beds in here, but just because you got a double bed didn't mean you were on your own. You were sharing. If you had a double bed, you were sharing with another man. So up to you, would you prefer a single bed or a double bed sharing with another bloke? So this is another dormitory. They haven't got this set out with the beds, but this is above the one we've just been in. But let me show you this on the floor. You can see just how the floor differs there and there. This shows you where the beds were. I don't know what's caused that staining, Freya, but then also this one you can see there's a single bed there. I don't know if you can see this as well on the cameras, we can't hear, but you see where it's more grainy and then it goes a bit plain. So we're in this room now where they don't actually know what its purpose was. There's a couple of theories. There's one theory that it could be used for old, infirm, married couples. It could have been used just as additional space, or it could have been used for the idiot's ward, Freya. Now, idiot is a term we use nowadays as quite an offensive term, but back then it was just for someone with mental health problems. You were classed as an idiot. So this is the children's sleeping ward. Now these beds remind me a lot like the ones at Quarry Bank. Yeah. Still slightly bigger, aren't they, Soph? Like you can sleep comfortably in there. Yeah? It's not real wee, but that's where the children would have had to wee. Look at them shoes, Soph. It's another small room. But this is where obviously the children would have slept. This is the story. Charlotte Lawson came to the workhouse in 1850, aged 7. After the deaths of her grandfather, her father, 2 elder brothers and mother in the space of just 5 years. The brother Samuel, aged 11, came in with her, but would live separately in the boys' ward.
I bet she never saw him either.
The girls have found another toilet, so let's go and have a look.
Yeah, it's only empty.
So
I mean, it looks like a normal toilet, just no legs.
yeah, I suppose it's better than the one you got outside, but where's it go?
I know. Outside. So
this room is the master and the matron's room. It's the biggest bedroom. A nice fire. This is what they would have worn. It's still not the luxury you got now, but the luxury in comparison. And a nice double bed. But what I would say is they are literally across the hall from the children's bedroom. We've just been having a really interesting conversation with one of the members of staff here whilst we were in the master's room. And a couple of things. That toilet we just seen, the nicer looking toilet, was actually the master's toilet. And they were located right next to the children's dorm. Kind of a way to keep an eye on the children. Not in a way of care, but more in a way of behaviour. To make sure that they weren't messing around and they weren't causing trouble. Now we are in the old and infirm women's dormitory, the one upstairs. You can see got similar beds. I would say the bedding isn't as good as the male's bedding in here. Would you say that? Like the bed itself is quite firm, but the bedding isn't as good. Check out this room, Soph. Aged and infirm female sleeping ward. Look at this. Like this, actually, is quite comfortable, I would say. They've got like a kitchen area, a cooker, a washing area, beds all lined up. Now, I don't know if the beds were supposed to be like that or they've decided. So they must have some of the children coming in here as well. Right, the reason why this room is a lot more different is because this isn't from the workhouse days. This is when the place got turned into like an homeless shelter from the 1950s to the 1970s. So homeless families could come here. Not the men were expected to go elsewhere, but the women and the children could spend time here. And that's why the bed's like this. This is why there's children's toys out. It's because this was actually for the homeless people of the 50s and the 70s, which isn't that long ago. So that's the workhouse. Mixed feelings really in terms of, okay, it wasn't great. You were going there, you were getting split up from your family and things like that. But ultimately, the alternative was a lot worse. There wasn't the welfare state that we have now. There wasn't the support networks that we have now. It was kind of that, or you're probably going to end up found dead in a ditch somewhere. So, a little bit of mixed feelings on it. Could it be better? Yes, they could. They could do more for the families there. Did they really need to split them up? No, but I suppose by splitting them up, it stopped more families growing. It's just very mixed feelings. What did you think, Freya?
I mean, they was a bit harsh. They were a bit harsh.
Yeah, it was a bit harsh. It wasn't the best work to do, obviously. So, but it was an interesting visit. It's another fantastic National Trust property. So our recommendation is get your pass, get here, check it out, and we'll see you next time.